was not a desire to do the right thing, but a lack of an inquiring mind. The notion of global warming was concocted to provide a cloak of scientific respectability for a massive socialist redistribution of wealth. That is as plain as day. All attempts to even up slices from our economic pie, irrespective of effort, always result in a shrunken and misshapen pie.
Yeah. Like Gillard's head.
Thus, we are witnessing the shrinking of the Australian economy now underway due to the carbon tax.
Shrink ahead of it more in a voice.
It is an accident of history that the notion of global warming caused people like me to inquire as to what actually is going on with our climate. I am proud to have done my bit to push back against the darkness that ever encroaches on us. What I found is that there is much to fear, but of course in the opposite direction to that claimed by the socialists. I will summarise the findings of my last 6 years of climate research in 2 sentences. Our generation has known a warm giving sun.
Yes.
The next will suffer a sun that is less giving, and the world will be less fruitful. Specifically, the current solar cycle is going to be a very long one. That will result in the climate over the following solar cycle being very cold.
Yes. An ice age.
The grain belts of the world will shift up to 700 kilometres towards the equator. World grain production will fall by about 25% at least. That is going to be the biggest problem the world will face in the next 30 years.
Exactly.
What about carbon dioxide, you might ask? The total warming from here due to carbon dioxide to the end of time may be of the order of 0.4 of a degree centigrade, or it may even be nothing. All we can be sure of is that it is not a problem.
Exactly.
The heating effect of carbon dioxide will be lost in the noise of the climate system. The fake problem of carbon is distracting us from real problems. First of which is the fact that Australia's oil self-sufficiency is declining rapidly. It is 40% now. It will be down to 25% by 2020. We now import oil from as far afield as Azerbaijan, Algeria and the Congo. We are forced to rely upon their kindness to keep our farms and factories running. It need not be like that. We could make our own transport fuels from our own coal and keep the money we pay for them in Australia. Only then will our nation have any hope of being secure and happy. But that won't happen while the carbon tax and the mining tax live.
Exactly.
The carbon tax and the mining tax are a particularly horrific combination for Australia. The carbon tax penalises our biggest resource endowment. The message from the mining tax is that risk capital is not welcome here. The synthetic fuel plants meant for us will be built in Canada and Chile instead.
Yeah, right.
But there could be a very good outcome from this carbon tax debacle. It is not enough to merely put things back the way they were before this particular lot of Australia haters came along. We must use this opportunity, your righteous anger, to unleash the furies on those who failed us and those who conspired against us.
Yes.
There are so many wrongs that need to be righted if we are to make Australia the earthly paradise it was meant to be.
That's right.
So let's right those wrongs.
Election now.
Let's not squander control of the Senate next time.
No. Election now.
Let's have a good clean out.
Yes.
It requires effort on your part. Coming here today is only the beginning.
Ethnic.
Many of you are shareholders, and many of the companies you are invested in sold their souls to get their snouts deeper into the carbon trough.
Yeah, the World Bank.
Make their lives hell.
Yes.
They deserve it.
Yes.
Hound the directors until they recant.
Smash the stock market.
As for any politicians who have ever believed in global warming, or supported the carbon tax, or a carbon-constrained economy, there is no hope for them.
Hand them out.
They are either too stupid or
Hang the
incompetent
bastards.
to be taken seriously.
Yeah.
Merely recanting at this late stage won't be enough. Make their lives hell too,
Oh yes.
just as they wished a diminished life on you. Australia will soon face some big challenges as the world enters one of its most turbulent periods. Just maintaining our standard of living in the face of those challenges will require a lot of rigour. We will only get the required level of rigour if we demand it.
Rigor mortis.
Firstly of ourselves, and then of the politicians we choose to represent us. Even then, keeping Australia safe and secure and happy will take our eternal vigilance. Thank you.
Yeah.